Last of Us season finale, Geeks and Nerd Table. Let's talk about it. Here we go. What's up, guys? It's Jose here, Saint Jose. We're ready to talk about Last of Us season finale, but of course, I'm not by myself. Let's introduce my boy Mike.
Hello there. Let's talk about the season finale of The Last of Us. Wait, was it a finale? Was it really?
Big time cliffhanger, brother. Big time cliffhanger.
For real.
Not only Mike, we got our girl KJ here in the house.
What's up, guys? Finale. Boo.
Ooh, we're already starting with the booze. Yeah, it was definitely lackluster. It was a lackluster episode, I think. But it definitely sets up season 3. So let's get right into it, guys. We start with where did we start today? We start with go ahead.
The arrow in Dina's leg.
Oh, yeah. And you got your boy Jesse. And Jesse's all concerned, and he's like, I gotta pull it out. I know Artie's, and then he offers her a drink, and she goes, I'm not drinking that.
Right?
Did you think he knew right then? Like when he said that?
Yeah, the way he looked at her, he was like, you don't want to drink? That was very suspicious behavior for her, I think.
And then he even says it later when he confronts Ellie. He goes, Dina never turns down a drink. It's not what she does. You know,
and she said, I can't die. I can't die.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah, and then okay, quick question for you guys. Not that we're medical experts, but in my head, I'm thinking you snap the arrow from the one side and then pull it through. You don't the feathers on the other side and shove it through.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I'm like, you always have to saw or break off the feather before you push it through.
Yeah, and I was like, he just push it through and like poured some whiskey in it. I would. She should have took that drink, even though she's pregnant. One shot wouldn't have hurt the baby.
The feathers would have done more damage going through. Like they show the bloody feathers later too. I'm like, all right, who like, how was that an oversight? Whatever. That's strike one. Strike one.
Obviously, like these people didn't see Braveheart because they be snapping arrows and pulling them through people in Braveheart. Like
I'm like, she's already hurt.
Man, you talking to a she gritted it out though.
Yeah, she did.
And then passed out.
She got that mama strength.
my other thought was like he didn't like take the jeans off, like he just bandaged the wound over the jeans. So like we thought too much about this, but like it obviously came through on the other side. So how are you cleaning that? She's gonna get it's gonna get infected.
Pretty much, but we're not gonna see that because next we got Ellie coming back to the theater where they were at theater, right? And Jesse's like, who is it? What's the name of your horse? And she's like, Jesse, open the door. And as soon as he did, right there, he knew that. I think that's when he realized how much Dina meant to Ellie and how much he loved her. She loves her because she didn't care. All she was like, where's Ellie? Where's Ellie? Is she okay? I mean, where's Dina? Is she okay? Is she dead or whatever? And she walks in and she sees Dina, and Dina's laying up there, and then
that soft little hello,
dude.
But her little raspy voice, and she like smirked at her. I was like, oh my god, she's so hot.
She was like, hi, and I'm like, in there.
What was that?
What?
What was that? You're in where, Mike?
In there. Come on.
He likes little Dina action.
Oh shit.
Dina looks at the back of Ellie's shirt and she sees the blood stains and everything like that. And then,
dude, did you think she was gonna be bit? I wasn't like thinking like scratches. I was like, she got bit.
Dude, I thought she would. I didn't think you would see stuff in her back because I was like, she didn't really do anything in her back. And then you see the claw marks and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's from when they were in the warehouse and the smart clickers or whatever the hell they were called attacked them. When they were ravaging.
I couldn't even remember. I was like, what happened last episode? I'm like, was it from the tree? And then I'm like, oh, it's when she probably fell down the elevator or something.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only thing. And then she goes right into that scene with Dina, and that scene changed everything for quite some time.
She finally told the truth.
Told the-
Mm-hmm.
But the way she described, she goes, it was actually pretty easy to make her talk. All you got to do is hurt her. And she was
Yeah.
Yeah.
saying whale or Willie or something, and she didn't realize that she was telling her where Abby was the whole time. But she tells Dina everything,
Yeah.
and
She
she
But,
said it
goes,
was she said it was easy. I just kept hurting her.
ugh.
And I thought it would be harder, but it wasn't.
and then
And
she
she
went
left her
into
alive to like
She,
turn.
to
to
suffer.
turn
Yeah.
Yeah,
forever.
that's dark.
Like that's some dark shit. But
So
she
like when Ellie first like takes her shirt up and like Dina's like washing her back, it was Ellie was also like, "Is the baby okay? Is the baby okay?" And Dina was like, "It's okay, it's okay." And she's like, "How do you know?" And she's like, "You just know." I thought that was a nice little touch.
Oh, look,
Like,
titties out. All I thought was like that Jesse was gonna walk in and see like that. I was just like, no one wants to see that. Turn around, bro.
right? Like,
No one wants to see that.
no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
but then she tells her, she confesses what happened in Salt Lake
Yeah.
City with Joe. And
Mhm.
she goes, I didn't know, but I kind of knew. And to me,
She's
the way
yeah.
I I took that was like Dina, the way Dina looked at her, it was like, we need to go home now.
Yeah, she was
We're
like, that's why they came
Yeah.
because she's like, did you know who they were? She's like, no, she hadn't put it together. Like, I don't know how she didn't put that together. Like, why else would they come here and torture this man as like a goal? The mission was Joel, and then to leave. And then she's like, oh, now I realized that it was her dad. And I did know what he did. I did know that he killed a hospital full of people.
And
And an
Dina was
unarmed
like,
doctor.
Yeah.
how do you kill a doctor in a zombie apocalypse?
He was
Like,
unarmed too. Like,
yeah, like I understand that's your daughter, and I'm sorry, I probably would have did the same thing because I don't want to have my daughter die, even though it could cure the world. Yes, it's selfish, but if you're a father or a parent, you understand.
but
Uh,
he could have pistol whipped him or something. He
yeah,
left the nurses alive.
no,
Why
he
did
definitely
he?
did.
He left the nurses alive because they told Abby what happened. But
Mm.
that guy was valuable.
Yeah, he definitely was. And Dina's total expression changed, and I took it as she was just like, I can't trust you. You lied to me this entire life. This entire time you've been lying to me. You've put my life in jeopardy. You put Jesse's life in jeopardy. You put Tommy's life in jeopardy. You put the baby's life in jeopardy for your own selfish reasons. Because you're selfish and you only think of yourself.
And
You know.
we'll come back to that later
Well,
about being selfish.
Jesse touched on that too. They
Yeah.
had that whole scene with that. But yeah, it was I think she's justified in feeling betrayed. She risked
Mhm.
everything on a
Totally.
lie.
She's the
You
one
know.
who's sitting there with a fresh arrow out of her leg. Like, she's the one who's hurt. She's been put in the most danger. She's carrying a baby. And
Yeah.
it's all for, I'll say it, something Joel probably deserved.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
And then she says we need to go home, and Ellie nods in agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because she realizes what she did, and what she did was wrong. She put everyone's life in jeopardy for her own selfish reasons. And Joe was wrong in what he did, but
And
there
she continues to do it the rest of the episode.
Jesse, Jesse's like the only good guy in this whole zombie apocalypse, because it's like there's either bad people and badder people. There's no good people.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Everybody's doing whatever they have to do to survive, to protect their family and protect their own.
it reminds me of The Walking Dead when Rick asked the questions like, "How many people have you killed? How many walkers have you killed?
Uh,
And why did you do it?" Or I forget what the third question is,
The
but
3 questions, yeah.
everyone has done bad things. But like Jesse is MVP of this episode, and I really liked him in this episode.
He did a fantastic job. I think all the actors did really good. Even Ellie and Dina together, that scene was very strong and powerful, I
Mhm.
think. And then
Yeah,
next,
yeah.
You get Jesse leaves with Ellie to find Tommy, and they're in North Philadelphia in Zombieland in Kensington because you see the needles all over the place. That's the first thing
Right.
I saw when I saw those cracked needles. I'm like, oh, it's Zombieland, Kensington.
It's not far off. I was like,
So right,
Is Skid Row in Seattle? Is that where that is?
I thought that
I
was
don't know.
Los Angeles.
Maybe it is. It's not far
I'm not
off.
sure.
so right
Um,
here, I had the question. I literally yelled this at the TV. I was like, "Where is Shimmer? Where's the fucking horse? The horse has been abandoned for 3 days. It's probably like infected food by now, and no one cares." And then right after I asked that question out loud, because I talked to the TV, Jesse answers it because he's giving her the silent treatment. He's obviously pissed. He's pissed that he had to come out there. He's pissed that she endangered Dina. He's pissed about everything. And she's asking him for ammo, and he just silently gives it to her. And then she asks him, "How did you find us?"
he goes, "You found us so easy." He goes, "Easy? You know how many things we had to do in the last 2 days, like booby traps and everything else? Like, this wasn't easy. We had to
Yeah.
track you, we had to separate. You're endangering our lives to find your dumbass, you know." And Jesse's pissed. And Jesse at this point just takes a guess.
Yep.
He
Hmm.
goes,
He
"She
starts bringing
talks
that
to you more than she
manipulation.
talks to me, you know." And he goes, "She probably tell you she's pregnant, and that's why you're doing it." And she goes, "Well, she was gonna tell you eventually." And you just see his face just drop. He's like, "She is
Like
pregnant."
you were guessing. Oh man. Well, like tell her that you're surprised, and she tells you like that is not even the concern right now. This man is processing,
Yeah, and
and
he like totally steps up as a dad. He gets really pissed off.
Yeah,
He's like, "That's my kid. Like, I gotta take care of him."
yeah,
I love his line where she says, "Nothing has to change between us." Like she's concerned about how Jesse feels about her. Like that doesn't matter either. And
yeah.
he's like, "Everything changing doesn't have to change things." And he said, "I'm going to be a father, which means I can't die. But because of you, we're stuck in a war zone. So how about we stop apologies, find Tommy so I can get us and my kid the fuck out of
Fuck out of
Seattle."
here. Yeah,
He steps right up
Yep.
immediately.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately.
As he
Zero
But
would.
hesitation.
she hasn't done. She has not put this baby first since she knew about it.
No, she hasn't. She's selfish, and that's the common consensus of the show. And I get it, but yeah, he was pissed, and he's like, I'm getting me and my kids. I'm gonna be a father." And that's how someone knowing that they're gonna be a father, it changes your whole outlook on
Mm-hmm.
life. It's
Mm,
like I have to support and feed a kid and take care of someone other than myself. And most
yeah,
And
people don't even know
there's a
how to
little
take care of their
switch
own
that
damn
flips.
self. Yeah.
exactly.
And it's like instantly that thing
Mm-hmm.
flips when you find out, your significant other's pregnant,
Yeah.
from the man's point of view, obviously. But yeah, and he's pissed and they keep going and they're in bad weather and just what they said, two storms are colliding.
Yeah, Seattle weather, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Of
Well,
course,
you got
like Seattle's flooded. Like, of
I was
course.
like thinking that. I'm like, they're used to rain. Every single person has a raincoat. Everyone has a raincoat with a hood.
it's
But
um,
like
funny.
Ellie like screws up. There's they get to that parking garage and there's that like what do they call them? Seraphite?
just
Yes,
scars is easier.
Scars. Yeah. And like the wolves start like harassing them, start like stripping them down, beating the crap out of them. What's Ellie do? She puts the whole group in danger
Again,
exactly.
charge.
for
Yeah,
nothing.
nothing. There's four of them against you and Jesse.
Hmm.
Like, I'm sure they have more guns than you do,
And he
you
says
know,
like this is not our war.
Hmm.
and he's right.
And
Hmm.
It's
she
not.
treats him like he's a bad person when he's being rational and logical and thinking about the safety of their entire group. Like, what would she have done? Shot maybe one of them, got both of them shot, and the scar would have either died or then killed them. Like,
Right.
they're not good people at all, and it by
Mm-mm.
any means.
How does
She's
that scene comes back 360 or 180, whatever the hell it is, to bite her in the ass later? because
that fucking pointless scene that happened for no reason. Yeah, that
yeah,
scene.
with the little kid.
Sorry guys, I don't like this episode. This was the worst episode of the season, and there's
Well,
pen stuck in my hair. Um,
I'll play devil's advocate on that scene. I will say it's not pointless, simply because it shows the difference of what Ellie thought. Oh, it's just a kid. It's just a kid. We have to save him. We have to save him. And then she has a 6-year-old or 5-year-old that's saying gutter.
mhm.
She was just trying to save the Scar people, and now she's about to get crucified by the Scar people when they hunger. So there's definitely, it shows how her perspective is going to change, because she grew a lot in this episode. Ellie changed a shit ton in this episode for the future. If you really think about it, she we'll get into it later, but like,
Yeah,
Did
I don't want to jump ahead.
I'm thinking, I was like,
did
how do I feel about
she?
the ending? How do I really feel about the
Because
ending?
the ending was like the nail in the coffin for me. I don't like Ellie's character really at all. Like Dina's been carrying me this whole show. Joel was even carrying me, and now I'm just stuck with her logical, immoral, like actions, and I'm mad. I'm mad at HBO for ending it like this. It wasn't
I
even a
get it.
good, but
Yeah, it wasn't a good
oh, we'll get to
cliffhanger,
that. We'll get to that.
but
Now
we have
we're at Isaac.
no, we have Jesse and Ellie. They go into what place they go into, where she sees the book, the monster at
Oh,
the
the
end of the book.
bookcase.
The Golden Books. Yeah.
Yes.
I want to say, like, yeah, they she picks up there's a monster at the end of this book, which is a Sesame Street book where
Grover.
Grover, did you ever read it? I read it like
Yes. I have
100,000 times.
the magnet on my fridge actually.
Really, that's awesome. Yeah, I've read that. There's an Elmo one too. There's two monsters at the end of this book. But yeah, so they pick up the Golden Book, but there's also one on there, and it's did you ever read I Love You Forever? And it's about like this kid that grows up, and his mom is like, I would love you forever, I love you for always, you'll always be mine, my baby, you'll be. And like the book kind of goes through like the stages of the kid's life, and eventually like he like gets friends and like moves out of the house, and then his mother gets old, and he ends up like taking care of his mom, and he says like, my mother you'll be, I'll take care of you forever, I'll love you
This
forever.
reminds me of the
It's
Giving Tree. It's like the
yeah,
same
it's a
thing.
really good book. It's like one of my favorite kids books. I just was happy it was in there.
But I never read that one or either one of them. But my take on that was, I'm sorry, Mike, I still love you.
No, dude, it's my little Golden Book Easter egg. Like, I love that.
When I saw that, the monster at the end of the book, is
Ooh.
Ellie the monster at the end of this book?
Yes.
It depends what she does next.
Yes. I took that as she's thinking of the baby in that moment. She's going to bring something material back, whereas
Mhm.
Jesse didn't pick up a book because he's actually doing what matters for the baby, where she's getting something physical. Oh, I give you a birthday gift once a year. It makes me a good parent, right? No. And he's actually doing what matters, and she's like, oh, I'm going to bring this book back. I don't know.
Yeah, and to me, I took it as the showrunners, the producers were just trying to give you an insight into how Ellie is, or how Ellie will be or go. That's the way I took it. But yeah, that whole conversation was very surprising, because Jesse goes, you know what? Let me be real with you for a second. I don't love her. I'm not in love with Dina. I like, word. And then he goes into, you remember when that crew came by and they were bartering and the girl had the ugly paintings? Or he bought 4 paintings to try to impress her, because that's what us guys do. We try to impress people with, stupid things.
He wanted to spend time with her. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just was trying to figure out a way to spend more time with her and show that he was interested, because we're not straightforward. And he goes, she wanted me to come with her, and I didn't, because I put Jackson first, because these people raised me, these people took care of me. And then Ellie goes on her whole tangent about good and bad.
That she's an asshole and all this. Like, before we get to that, what did you guys think of that? His essentially sacrificing his happiness to be a leader at Jackson. Like, agree or disagree. And of course, Ellie doesn't understand that because she's selfish.
That's what men do.
Yeah.
That's what real men do.
I think Jesse probably made the right decision. He kind of sacrificed himself for the greater
Did
good.
he though?
I don't know.
He'll be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
That's right.
and also, I don't agree with him. Like, he says he loves Dina, but he's not in love with her like Ellie is. But Ellie's not making the right choices for Dina. Jesse is. So does love matter more than being in love? Because in love is just a infatuation most of the time.
Her version of love might be different from your version of love, and your
At the
version of
same
love
at the
might be
same time,
different than my version of love.
they were
So
on and
for
off
her,
again
it's
so
love.
many times
Yeah.
that like their love might have changed between each relationship each time they were back and forth.
But if you loved Dina and she was pregnant with your child, what would you put her in this? Continue to put her in this situation?
No,
Well, he's trying to get her out.
he's trying to get her out, but I think their whole relationship is of convenience.
No, I agree with that. I'm talking about Ellie. Does Ellie
Oh,
really love her if she's continuing to put her and the baby in danger? Is that real love, or is that just
mm,
it's like not
No,
grown up love, it's kiddie
no,
love.
exactly.
I think Joel is the closest Ellie has ever come to love someone.
Hmm.
The closest, and I don't think, I'm pretty sure they can confirm this, but she's never told Joel I love you. She's
Hmm.
never uttered those words in 2 seasons. Love has never came out of her mouth. So she doesn't know what love is. She's 19. She's a kid that grew up in this apocalypse,
Mm-hmm.
So she definitely has a lot of growing to do, but I think this show showed her growth within certain scenes. Because if you go into the next scene, I believe was when no, that's when they were at the top of the building and they heard the gunshots
Yeah,
and
so
they're like,
Tommy's in
it's
trouble.
Tommy. Yeah.
Tommy's out there sniping people off like Call of Duty style out there, and
I need backup.
yeah, Jesse's like, yo, we
Wait
gotta
a
go
minute.
save this dude. What's that?
24:30. You writing it down, Mikey?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Not a very good picture you got stuck at there.
Oh, she always looked good.
She's talking to her kid, I'm sure.
Take me back. Take me back.
Give me a break. I remember one time when I was on the wrestling team, I was just such a fucking asshole. I hated wrestling because I sucked at it. But I was on the bench and during a fucking match, and I start fucking singing, "Give me a break, give me a break, break me off a piece of that kick cap." The whole fucking team started singing it with me.
Really? Oh my
Dude, I got in
god.
so much fucking trouble. I had to do like fucking 4 extra laps.
Dude, we did like wrestling in like middle school or something.
Oh, we lost her
What happened?
completely.
What
Shit.
happened?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Did it glitch out for everybody or just me?
Just
Just
you.
you.
Because you guys, all of our screens went black at the same time, and I was just sitting there.
No, we were watching you be frozen.
Oh,
You're like this motherfucker.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
we're like,
I'm like, I'm gonna just eat my Micanites then.
what kind of
I
mic
want
nights
some
you got?
Mike and Ike's.
Tropical. They're not that great though.
Tropical. Ugh.
Yeah.
They're good. I like hot
You know
tamale.
they make Mike or Mike and Ike's berry blend and it says Mike Berry on it.
Oh my
It does.
god. Like, is Barry a real last name?
Yeah, sure.
Like, is it? Like, historically, like, is it? All right. Where did we
Where
glitch
were
out?
we were
talking about Tommy.
Oh, I
Tommy
didn't
was
even.
sniping people.
I didn't.
Okay,
I didn't hear that part at all.
all right. So we'll start from they're at the thing and they're listening to the radio.
Okay.
They're in that building. All right. So we'll
Okay.
go from there. All right. 2650. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so they're sitting there at the top of the building and they hear the radio calling, and I guess it's the wolves. They're looking for backup because your boy's like sniping them.
Yo, Tommy's out there like Call of Duty style, like Call of Duty or like Gears of War, just like sniping people off left and right.
He
And
learned from
Jesse's
Joel.
like, we gotta go get him. We gotta go get him. And then that's when Ellie has her like epiphany. She gets those goggles out, binoculars, not goggles.
Yeah. Binoculars.
And like she sees the Ferris wheel, and like it clicks in her head what
She
oh
sees
man,
the
who's the girl
aquarium.
yeah.
Abby.
And so she
Wheel.
figures out that's where
Yeah.
Abby's at.
Yeah.
And she's
'Cause
like,
she says whale and wheel.
mm-hmm.
And then
We-
she puts the two together.
We skipped the whole scene. We skipped the whole scene with Isaac
Oh,
talking about
okay.
Abby.
Oh shoot.
Oh, yeah.
How Abby's
Yeah,
an
so
A, not a
Abby's,
B.
Abby's MIA.
She's MIA. I think she said Mel was MIA and
Her whole crew is gone.
her whole
Mhm.
crew pretty much. And then Isaac's like, no, we need Abby. We need Abby. And I can't remember the lady's name. She goes, "Are you in love with her?" Because I get it. Old dudes love young chicks. And he goes, "Are you kidding me?" He goes, "No, she's our best soldier. And
She's a
then
leader.
She's
Yeah.
the leader." So at that moment, I'm like, oh, Abby's not a slouch. Like Abby's like the real deal. Like she
Mhm.
will take Ellie out, you know? And then no one knows where they're at. He's trying to figure it out, and that's when they go back to Ferris wheel right after that scene, correct?
So anyone who's seen They Live with Rick and Michonne, it reminded me of that Abby's an A, not a B. And like a real leader is so rare. Like an A is like a Rick, a Michonne, a Carol, like someone who's can lead on their own.
Mhm.
And bees are sheep. So like he's got an army full of bees, sheep, and he needs a real wolf to lead them because he's pretty sure. So whatever the WLF, we don't know, whatever they're planning, they're all pretty much planning on dying. Whatever it is that they're doing, they don't really get into. I feel like this episode feels very rushed, and we don't get an idea of really what they're doing.
Setting up for next season.
Yeah.
And I think with the next scene you go, it's when because Jesse and her are still where she took out the binoculars for the whale right after that scene after Isaac, and then she goes, "You voted 3 more votes and you would have been here anyway." And he tells her, "No, I voted no."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because
okay,
he
he put the community first.
Mm-hmm.
Always puts the community first, and that's when she like loses her shit. You think you're good and I'm bad? You're so good, you just let a kid die. You know, and there's truth to that, but he did it for the greater good of the group that he let that
To
kid die
protect his kid.
and
Yeah.
protect him and her because they both would have died,
Yeah.
you know. And then Ellie decides, I'm gonna go out on my own.
Dude, first off, she's like, Tommy,
Ugh.
he'll take care of himself. He'll take care of himself. He's fine. He like they're gonna
She don't
call
even
him more
care for
soldiers.
Tommy.
He'll shoot them too.
She immediately was like, Ferris wheel, Abby, fuck everybody else.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Fuck Tommy.
exactly.
He's only got so many bullets. How long can he actually keep them off of him? And Jesse's like, what's wrong with you? Like, we're here to get Tommy. Like, that's her second dad, okay? Or she's got so many of them. And
Your revenge is blinding you badly that
yeah, her
you just
revenge
let
is
him
priority again. For someone who actually means something to her, like, she's a shitty person.
Yes.
Period. Ellie
She is.
sucks.
die. She does.
And her face sucks. Okay.
Oh,
Her
there were
face-
tears coming out of her today.
No.
She was crying.
Okay, viewers, we all
You're
figured
so
it out.
angry.
She got this job because she knows Pedro from fucking Game of Thrones and she knows HBO. Okay? Let's be real.
High possibility.
Facts.
Got the same shit.
But then you got
Come
Ellie's
for me.
dumbass.
I don't care.
She goes to the waterfront and she sees Isaac. And I'm sorry, when you saw those boats come up, I'm like, oh shit. Like
Those
boats
flashlights?
yeah.
That was a
Yeah,
good
like-
little scene.
they are not playing. Like
It
the
was like
wolves are a lot dangerous, more dangerous than we thought
they were like 30, 50 deep. Yeah.
Mhm.
And we thought there
Ready
was
for
only
some shit we don't
Yeah,
know.
dude, she was about to try and snipe him out with a friggin' handgun. Like,
Oh my god, she wasn't even close enough.
a 9mm at that. Like,
Was it a
dude, you better be
9mm?
aiming for that eyeball.
So does
Yeah,
she have two guns on her, or is it just the one?
Well, she's got Joel's Colt
yeah, and the
and then
9mm.
her like 9mm because that's what she asked.
She's
Jesse
not
for.
Dina. You're not Dina. Stop. Like,
you're not Carl.
okay, so they load up and they leave, and I love the scene where you're not Carl. I love that. They load up
Who
and you
wins in
see
a fight? Who wins in a fight, Carl or Ellie?
Carl's gonna whoop her ass.
Carl. He's smarter. I mean, he's been technically they've both been raised in the apocalypse. If you want to debate that, but Carl's
Right,
scrappy.
even if Carl's got no depth perception,
No.
he might.
Are you really? You gonna go for the eye? You gonna go for the eye, bro? That's low.
I can tell you exactly who's gonna win that match. Carl delivered that baby.
Ooh,
Oh, thank you. We didn't get there yet, but that was my
ouch.
whole point for that scene. I'm so mad at her for that. Don't jump ahead of her. I'll rant. I will rant for 5 minutes straight.
Let's just say, all right. So like, Carl's
But
gonna get that big bucket of like chocolate pudding at the end of that fight. He's gonna
Don't
win.
hate on chocolate pudding. 10-year-old chocolate pudding. Oh, that was a
Big
stupid
Dan.
scene. Like he literally died over a shoe in the hallway.
So
You got me
back
so
on
off track. You got me so off track. So the boats, when they turned
boat.
off their lights, that was an awesome little scene. When the lights came on and when they turned them out, you're like, you could not see them. They were like basically camouflaged by the night in the storm. And then her dumbass, she looks at this storm and says, I can take my little sailboat. Are you Dora? You're not
Yeah.
Dora. Dora's back at the hotel. Okay.
She
Yeah.
never,
You can't
she
do
never
this
driven
on
no
your
boat
own.
before.
She can't do shit on her own, guys. Let's be real.
Dude, first she
needs
got
the
that engine
map.
started. She was like, I'm gonna navigate this upstream.
So she can start a weed whacker. That's what she can do. She can pull on the cord.
And then dude, she sees that like great white squall, like the
The
perfect storm
tsunami wave. And
then
her
she
face
like,
was so stupid. Her face was. I was just
I
like,
can do that. I'm gonna do that. And then what's that bitch? She does the
No.
worst thing possible. She goes sideways.
Sideways.
You know what you don't do on a wave? Go sideways.
Sideways.
Physics. She should have paid attention in federal school.
This whole scene was like sidetracking us to remind us that the scars are out there.
Yeah.
She washes up on the shore. She sees the kid, and she's
how
like,
how did she wash up on that shore? How? That was
bitch can't
further
swim. She can't swim.
Ferris wheel.
We fast forward. We don't even see her swim up, which is just on the beach because they rushed this episode.
The boat beat her to the beach.
You're right. The
And
boat
was
was
sitting
right
up her.
behind her. Like what? Stop.
Dude, how creepy was that little ass kid? He's just staring at her, and then they grab her and they're dragging her dumbass to hang her. And gut her.
Oh man.
And she yells at the little kid, "Tell them you seen me. I'm not with the wolves." And he
Tell them what?
Sign to gut her.
I know, and the woman was like smiling. It was like giving Children of the Corn. But like what I wrote in my notes was they just immediately went to execution. They didn't ask her shit. They didn't go through her stuff. They took her gun, they tossed her gun, and tied her right up. Was ready to gut her ass.
It totally goes against when we first met Isaac, where that dude's like, we recruit all of the wolf people to us.
Yeah.
And they were just like, nah, we'll just kill you. It's okay. We're not gonna try.
Yeah, but they went right. They didn't even question her. They went
I know,
right
that's what I'm
to
saying. Like,
murder.
they went totally against like what they had set up.
I agree with you with that one. They definitely rushed that scene.
Yeah.
Like there should have been so much more dialogue to that. Like it was a wasted scene. It was a throwaway scene.
It didn't even need to be dialogue. They could have whistled for like 32 minutes and I would have understood more.
If they would have cut that whole scene out with the wave, it would have left for other more important conversations at the end of this episode. But
what are you saying? They cut the episode short?
It was like 49 minutes, you said?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And then so we hear the siren go off that we've never heard before. And they're like, the village. And she's like, leave her. So like, okay, she got spared. And then like she even like you face death. You're facing imminent death, disembowelment, and hanging. And it doesn't make you think, this is stupid. I'm risking my life for revenge in the middle of a war and I'm alone. And there's a squall going on. Nope, nope, nope. She just picks up her gun and gets right back on the boat.
Takes that same boat and that same water.
And she gets there though. But you got to give my
Who
girl props.
who
You got to give
directed
her
this
props.
episode?
She took the bullets out of the gun and dried them.
Dude, I have it written right here. I'm like, that gun is not firing. And then like the next scene, she's like, oh, I'm gonna pat them dry. Dude,
I'm
you
like,
better clean them
oh.
cylinders. You better clean that whole thing out. You're done.
We've already
gotta give her
seen
some
her
credit.
clean a gun. We know she knows how to clean a gun. Again, I
Yeah.
felt like that was an unneeded scene. She looks 12, you guys. When she was on the boat, she looked 12. She looked 12. It just
Yeah, she did.
she looked young as hell. And she looks same way she did in season 1. And it brought me out of it a little. So then she starts
meets up with
overhearing conversation between Owen and some other female.
Mel. Yeah. And damn, she hears them talking about Abby and she just pulls up, and the look on their face when they realize who it was, and he goes, where's Abby? Oh, we don't know. I just heard you talking about him.
Yeah.
He goes, I let you live. He was trying to like plead with her. I let you live. We could have killed you. And they're pleading. Go ahead, Mike.
She channels her like her inner Joel. She pulls like a total Joel move that he did last season, where he gets the map and she's like, "You tell me where it is, and then you point to the same spot, or you're both dead."
Dude,
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to use that in the apocalypse. I'm going to remember that and bolt cutters, you guys.
If
you
don't
might remember more, KJ. This one's going to be on the test. Like, you need bolt cutters and like map skills.
Yeah. We need Dora. We need
learn how to
we need a backpack.
triangulate.
What is the thing? What's the thing she asked for, you guys? A protractor.
Some
bolt cutters.
Not Harbor Freight bolt cutters.
Yes. Not Harbor Freight.
So, KJ, do you remember, was it when they went to like the cannibal reserve thing? Was that
Terminus?
When
You're
Joel
talking about
was
The Walking Dead?
No, in last season of The Last of Us. When did Joel use that? Was that when had Ellie kidnapped? When
yeah. So Ellie was gone,
in the leg,
and they had a group of guys patrolling for him. He came into the house where he was in the basement. I guess he was well enough to come to. He killed the guy in the basement, and then I guess there was 2 more that he he was wounded and still took these guys out. Had one tied up to the chair. The other he was like beating up, and he's like, y'all better point to the same. He like put a pen in his mouth. He was like, point
is that what it was?
to it. It better be the same spot. And then he pointed.
And he still kills
him.
him.
And then he killed him and then went to the other guy and was like, you better tell me. And then he killed him. But that was Gully.
Joel.
That was an alpha move for sure.
But the next scene right after that is the dumbass goes for his gun. Well, I can't say he's a dumbass because I would have went for my gun too.
I thought the same thing. She's got her gun on you though. Like you make a distraction or something first, and then you go for it.
Yo, you take that map, you drop it on the floor, like you do something, you get her to look. No,
he could tell that Ellie was scared. Ellie looked scared.
The rush special.
When she went to shoot him, she closed her eyes. Like it was a luck shot that she shot him through the
guys.
nose.
Was it lucky though?
Guys, I can't. There's so much wrong with this episode. She's holding a Taurus revolver, 66 357 Magnum revolver. If anyone has ever shot a gun, period, that shit kicks so hard you almost drop it. I have shot a Judge, which is like a shotgun shell and a handgun, and a multiple other guns. She's like, she holds it, pew, it doesn't even like. It would have been like, why do they never get that right? She shoots a revolver and it doesn't even move out of her hand. I'm like,
yo, that thing used to kick. That used to kick Joel back. That was his gun. It didn't move. Like, I'm deaf from that thing.
It didn't move. It went through him, through her, and then into the wall behind her.
True story. I shot that same exact gun quite a few years back. I had a black and blue on my palm from the kickback because I didn't held it tight enough.
Seriously,
It
Yep.
was the first time I shot it. It was my friend's gun, and the thing literally bruised the palm of my damn hand.
they
Like
never
I'm
get
like,
it right. In The
that
Walking Dead, they
kickback's
do a good job.
ridiculous. Yeah,
Mhm.
but
He's like,
Rick fires like
pew.
his with like one hand, and he's always got like a big crazy kickback.
it's Frick
Yeah, because
guns.
he's got like a is it a Desert Eagle?
Yeah.
That
I don't know
thing.
what he has. No, Desert Eagle's more of a an automatic, not a revolver.
Okay.
So she shoots the dude. Let's bring it back to the becoming a gun
What, you want
show.
to talk about this
Sorry,
crappy
sorry.
stuff?
I got passionate about that.
We'll talk about our personal collections
So
after this.
unrealistic.
Dude,
But dude, she shot her right through the neck, and then Mel looks back, and they have her jacket button up the whole damn time. And I'm like, wait, they never showed that. And she shoots her, and
Mm,
the
the
bullet just
artery.
pierces her neck
yeah.
in the artery. And she goes, "You have 30 seconds to get this baby out."
She
And
said,
then,
get over here, help
yeah,
me. And she
you
just
Mhm.
have
stood
a
there.
knife. You have a knife. And
She
I thought
wasted
of The
about 10
Walking Dead
seconds.
instantly. Yeah.
Yeah.
She
And
said, cut it out of me.
she
The
couldn't
one
do it.
time she freezes.
You guys, she is begging for her baby's life, right? Because if we really want to go back, like, yeah, this girl knew they were going to kill Joel, but was she even there when they killed Joel? Because there was
She
a few
was.
that were like protesting, were like, we can't do this.
She
She
was the
didn't
one that Abby said she was going to bash her skull in if she doesn't give her the knife or
like
tourniquet her.
she was like the one of the group that I was like, she doesn't deserve this. And she's saying low transverse, because she's probably, read up on it and studied like how she's going to deliver this baby. So I'm sure she's done her research. And then in her bleeding out, that's like the only word she could get out was low transverse, which I looked it up, and it means a horizontal cut made in the lower part of the uterus during C-section, which is like down under the belly button. And she just, what does that mean? What does that mean?
And she was
Like,
even
she
like,
could have done something. She
But she
just covered up her belly and let the baby die.
but this is where I think we see the most growth from Ellie. Honestly,
How is
because
that growth?
that changed her whole life. That moment changed everything for her. Her revenge on people has changed. She's willing to let Abby go at this point because she saw Dina when she saw Mel with the baby. I think that hit her and affected her hard, and she realized that I could lose my daughter or my son that's in Dina's
mhm.
belly right now. And that changed her whole perspective of I'm just going to go kill everybody to no, I have to put Dina and the baby first now. And I think that's where you see the growth from her there, because you even see it when she walks back into the room where in the theater, she doesn't say nothing to Dina when she walks in. She is in shock.
She's traumatized by her own hand, by her own doing. She sacrificed two people with pointless deaths with the gun that she swore she was only going to use for Abby. But okay. Um, I don't know. I don't see it that way. She let this poor woman die. She was obviously, I mean, but then I thought ahead. I'm like, okay, so say she did cut the baby out. Then you have a baby. What now? It would have ruined her
Exactly.
whole plan.
Exactly.
But I felt like her taking that woman's life, she was responsible to at least try to save that baby. And she just like covered her little belly up and patted it. And like, I honestly thought when they zoomed in that they were going to show like the baby moving, because that's what would happen.
Oh
It's slowly
no.
suffocating to death inside the body. And like Carl did it. Carl did it. He was like 12, y'all. He was like 12. And he saved his own, so unrealistic. He saved his
And
own sister.
so I saw this episode with my daughter Kayla, who's 19 or 20, I'm sorry. And when that happened, I yelled out, "Let the baby fucking die." Like the last thing you need right now is a baby in the zombie apocalypse when Dina's pregnant, everything like that. It sounds horrible, but in the zombie apocalypse, I don't want to be carrying a baby that cries and needs to be fed and changed and everything, because that just makes you more vulnerable and a target. And this is not your kid. So let it die.
But it's
And that
still
sounds
Mike, what's
harsh,
your
Ellie's
but
take?
fault.
What's your take, Mike?
What's my take is she
Yeah.
let the baby die. The lady was like, when she was like, how do I cut? How would I cut? She was like, deeper than you think, deeper than she could have taken the effort. She could have done it. Like, I couldn't believe that this was the moment where Ellie froze. This is
But why?
She chose not to.
No, but why? Why save the baby? Why? What's the point?
Okay, back in the bookstore, there was a quote on the wall that said, "Everything's got a moral if you can only find it."
how do you catch
So what?
stuff on the wall?
Because then it showed baby, read to baby right after that, and I was
I
like,
did it.
"What's the moral of this episode?" Right? It's choices we make. She made a choice to kill 3 people that day
Mm-hmm.
in that room.
Yeah. She got a
Almost
bonus
lost her own
kill.
life multiple times for revenge,
Yeah.
you guys. It's never.
Where she
It's a
could have left
revenge.
and gone and helped Tommy, and she could have left and not went after the Ferris wheel, and it's all on Ellie, all of it.
But they killed her father.
And
Like
Joel
you
killed her father. It's like a circle of life.
but yeah, but it is. It's true. It's like everybody's killing
Simba.
everybody. But like she
Remember who you are.
Remember who you are. You're a lot like Joel. You're a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yes.
but
Young Mufasa
that
would be so disappointed.
Oh my god. Oh shit, you guys. So Jose, then we're in this. Like, she walks in with 1,000-mile stare. Right, the PTSD.
yeah.
She's traumatized by her
How did they
own
get back to this place? Like,
decisions.
ain't nobody checking it? Nobody?
The lights are on too, you guys, and they have like a couple little chairs that
No,
little
she's
limp
got, like,
ass
a-
Dina was able to push and pull back. Like,
They got a
Well,
plush ass couch, like hold it up, like
dude,
Gimpy
don't
LaRue.
forget.
Like they're gonna start calling her Eileen the way she's walking. And
call her what?
Eileen, what do you call a girl with one leg? Eileen.
I don't get the reference.
I don't know. But yeah, she got the cheesy couch and she's moving it like. Yeah,
But even
how's nobody
better
looked at this
of
place?
all this is that they have a walkie that's had no battery charge for the last 3-4 days and it still works.
Because they went radio silent for some reason.
Yeah,
But they know their location. They're always talking, like Dina said in the last episode. They're always talking. They never shut the hell up. We know their position at all times.
Well, they said
No.
in the very beginning of the episode, Isaac told everyone to go radio silent
oh,
It's true.
because they're planning something.
And we don't know what. We just know it involves boats.
boats and hose and blowing things up.
Yeah.
Sounds like my kind of party. So Tommy
they're at the
says,
theater. Yeah.
"Can you make your peace with that?" That she's like, "Well, Abby still gets to walk around out here,"
Yeah, Abby still gets to live.
and then she goes, "I guess I have to." Right? Something like that.
Yeah. Because now she realizes that she has to be around for Dina and the baby.
Oh my God. It takes her killing a pregnant lady to figure that out. Hard-headed as fuck.
She's 19. but then Joe leaves, they talk, and then all of a sudden Tommy walks out and Jesse and her left over, and then you hear commotion.
Mm-hmm.
And they run up and damn.
You
Dude,
guys.
I thought it was going to be clickers out there. I really did.
I did not expect Abby. And
Abby got in without them even knowing it, so she probably used the
moved the
back door,
couch.
you guys.
Nope,
Yeah.
she moved the couch. She was like, doors don't usually have ugly ass pea soup green couches in front of them.
She shot our boy Jesse
Oh, this
right
part.
in his face, dude. As soon as he walked out the door.
She shot him as soon as they walked through the door, and then Ellie ducked right behind him.
And Ellie and she starts, don't shoot. Like, did Ellie get a chance to see that it was Abby, or did she just
I think
assume
she
it was
knew.
the
She
wolf?
said, "Come out, or I'm going to shoot this one too," pointing at Tommy. And then when she sees her and her face drops and she recognizes Ellie, she's like, "I let you live. I let you live, and you came back and you killed my friends.
And you wasted it.
Not going to make." She said, "You wasted it." She
I let
did,
you live, and you wasted it. And then all of a sudden,
bam.
we go black. We go black.
Where's Dina? That's all I want to know. Where's Dora?
She's the one that pulled the trigger to shoot Abby.
She getting her
That's what I
backpack. She's triangulating a nice shot to shoot Abby.
I don't think that gunshot. Obviously, it's not going to kill Ellie. Ellie's the show.
Damn, that's a
You know,
shame.
Ow.
Get her face off my screen.
Yeah, so it drops off at that cliffhanger. I know there's a little bit more, but I just have another question.
Yeah.
What was the worst cliffhanger in the zombie apocalypse? When Negan goes to kill somebody and you don't know who it is, or this last little like fade to black thing?
no, Negan.
Like,
Walking Dead.
Dude, that made me so. Both of these make me
That
so
was
mad.
so
I'm just trying to figure out.
traumatizing. I cried for 3 days.
Yeah, it was done better, but like both make me mad. I don't know if like this makes me madder because like I was expecting more from this show.
No,
I
don't think
feel like
you can
this episode dropped the ball on a lot.
They
of
totally
things.
dropped the ball. This episode made me so angry, in so many different aspects. Just the selfishness, the loss of life, her still being an asshole even after the fact. And now you just got Jesse killed. You just killed Dina's baby dad, who's willing to sacrifice everything to get her and that baby to safety. And now we got Tommy and Ellie and fucked up Dina, who's probably got an infection against guys. I don't know about you, but when Abby comes on the screen, I always forget that it's her. Like I had the video game Abby in my head, and then when she shows up, I'm like, oh damn, it's this chick. Because she doesn't look as buff as the other. Like it's believable. The video game
this
version
Abby
is more
can't bench
believable.
press nothing. Like video game Abby
Yeah.
can bench press this Abby.
I'm like, come on, you guys. And then we have this weird jolt back to her sleeping, someone waking her up and saying, Isaac wants to talk to you. And we get to go out and see their whole setup inside the arena.
and it's serious.
And it's serious.
Yeah.
They got windmills, gardens, sheep.
They got sheep in a cage.
Garden. What
like
I put here?
basketball court.
The whole
And
Seattle stadium.
it says day one. And I'm like,
So-
damn, they're going to go and replay it from their point of view next season.
Yep. The first 3 episodes are going to be from Abby's perspective. That's what I'm guessing.
Way to
And
stretch it
then-
out, HBO. Way
Right.
to
And
stretch it out.
We're going to see like in the game where they're just missing each other by seconds and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. But the Wolves, or WLF, which I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
The Wolves WLF. This episode's WTF. Like
All right.
Dude, they are deep.
Yeah, it so is.
This
I
episode
was
was
like-
definitely rushed.
I was mad when this went off. I was like, really? And you go off the Soundgarden. All right, you get points for that. But
It was
I
definitely.
don't know.
the
My
weakest
HBO
episode of the season.
cut out after like 3 seconds of that. I had to go back and listen to it.
it was burning in my hand.
Was
which
it?
Chris Cornell, like, my God, his voice. But
Yeah.
10 out of 10, 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. Do not recommend. It was unsatisfying conclusion.
Would not give
Yeah.
it a 0, but it will not rank high.
No, I wouldn't give it a 0, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. No. I think this was.
6
It was
out
a
of 10.
setup. It was a setup episode. That's all it was. But like,
A
how
setup
can you set up
finale?
an episode for
Felt
a
like-
year later?
It felt like a filler episode. Like it should have been.
Yeah.
We should get 2 or 3 more episodes. Then why you stop it here? This is not a
Mhm.
final. This was not a good or satisfying finale at all.
I think they will hear a lot of backlash from a lot of people.
And Ellie's face gets a lot of backlash. I said it. I said what I said. Hey,
we're gonna
dude,
be dealing with
How
Ellie
does
for
I'm
a long
usually
time.
on like the I'm okay with Ellie train, but like she
She's a
took
baby
ugly
killer.
crying. She took ugly crying to a whole new level. That was like fugly crying.
when did she cry?
When
with Dina.
with Dina, and then at the little where she shot the girl who was
Oh,
pregnant.
was she crying? Because I didn't even notice her face was just straight. Dina was
Yeah, she
acting
was
though
crying.
more with her eyes when she was telling her what Joel did than Ellie has in the whole season.
Nah,
I said it. I said
she
it.
fugly crying.
Gloves are off.
Yeah,
She's a baby killer. She's a baby killer. Nope.
Ouch.
Nope.
My it was funny because when she killed the 3 when she killed the 2 people, Mel and the other guy and the baby, I go, oh, she got a bonus kill.
Ouch.
Damn.
She was searching for 5, she got 6.
Savage, dude.
I am comfortable saying this was probably the worst episode in the entire series.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely
5 out of 10. 5 out of
yeah.
10. 6 out of 10.
Uh,
What did she give
I'll give
Dina
you
for that kiss? 6, 7.
I'll give
a
it a
6.
5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a
I
5. I think
I
you got the
liked.
perfect MVP. My,
Yeah, who's MVP? You guys?
my MVP. I'm gonna go last. Who's your MVP? I think you said
Jesse
Jesse. Yeah.
and Shimmer and Jesse MVPs.
My,
Shimmer's holding it down.
exactly, dude. Shimmer was eating some records, munching
She's
on that
playing. She's
vinyl
playing
and
some
moss.
Soundgarden in there. He's like, she's fine, by the way. Not that you asked.
My MVP is the Great Big Wave, who was like, "No, Ellie, this is dumb. Don't do this."
Right? That was the universe telling her, turn back.
like the little
Maybe the
creature.
universe was trying to kill her. The universe was trying to
Maybe.
kill her and washed her right up to the scars. It was like, you dumb bitch. You about to get a whole mess of people killed.
Yeah.
4 people to be exact now.
Oof.
Them, the
That-
two
Yeah, Jesse's
wolves, the
done.
baby, and Jesse, and maybe Tommy. Hold on,
Yeah.
Ivy.
Jesse, poor Jesse. R.I.P. my boy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who's your
and,
MVP, Jose?
I think it has to be Jesse at this point. I mean, just for fun, I would say the little kid that told her to gut it, because that was hilarious to me. That the little Silence of the Lamb kid was there, and but nah, it was a good season. Last episode fell way flat, but I'm still looking forward to next season. It sucks. This is our last episode that we get to talk about The Last of Us until next year.
I'm going to
At least
pretend
next
like
year.
last episode was the finale
Yeah.
in my head. I'm just going to erase this whole episode. Pointless episode.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that one for sure.
So I wonder if they had added like an extra 3 episodes, if they could have just wrapped this whole series up and been done with it, but they got to go for those subscriptions and stuff and try and stretch it out.
That's what they should have did. They should have did Abby's last 3 days and then end it to where the shot happened, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then leave it as a cliffhanger at that point for next season.
I'm tired of living in a world with quantity and not quality. Okay? This was not a quality episode. This was a rushed episode.
Yes, it
Did
was.
somebody die on the cast that we don't know about? Because it feels like when an actor dies and they just like clip everything together and try to make it work.
My money's on they probably were like, we're going to finish it up. And then they got ratings numbers, and some number cruncher was like, if you stretch it out for another season, we can get more money.
And like I was saying, like, what are they gonna? They could do a 3rd season. I was thinking, there's no 3rd game. They could literally be creative and do whatever they wanted. But no, now they're gonna go tell the same story again. Do we care? Do we really want to know Abby's point of view, you guys?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I want to see, because this girl is like, she's gonna be fun to watch. Like, she's gonna be more entertaining watching her character than watching Ellie's character. I think.
I was thinking that when she came in with the gun and was listening to the conversation, I literally wrote this. Bored now. I was like, I'm more interested in what's going on with the wolves than Ellie's whole arc.
Yeah. And I think that's going to be the main focus for next year, at least the first 3 episodes. It's going to be what happened with her, and then right back to this scene. And honestly, I think Dina killed her. I think, I'm not going to be surprised if the shot was Dina shooting Abby, but we'll have to wait till probably episode 4 of next season to find out.
Oh God, I hope they don't stretch that out that long.
Guys, we may or may not be back for season 3. You'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait to
They
see.
keep paying me
HBO
those
Max.
podcast dollars. I'll be here.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
Zero. AMC, on the other hand, comes out with quality product
Yes, they do.
every time.
Yes.
Every time.
And we will be talking about one of those quality products come this fall with KJ,
Yes.
myself, and Mike. We're going to be talking about Interview with a Vampire, my boy Lestat and Louis.
Let us know.
Dude, I will never sign off on my boy Louis. Ever.
Let us know down below, you guys, if you guys would watch Interview with the Vampire. Sorry, that's my dog.
No worries.
She
But yeah,
she is also upset about this episode.
yeah, this season was fun talking about The Last of Us with us. KJ, it's your first podcast. Technically, it's both our first podcasts because this is the first one I've ever hosted or been
Yeah,
a part of, like on my own, besides GNT. So this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot, and I can't wait to do it again for sure.
yeah,
KJ,
it's definitely a lot of fun.
you're a natural. I'm so impressed. Like you did so great. I'm so happy to have you on. You're phenomenal. I think someone out there said you should have your own show, which I totally believe you should. But this has been a
She
lot
ain't
of fun.
leaving us. No.
Thanks for joining us. We definitely need to
There's
find more projects for you.
there's enough of
Yeah.
me to go around, you guys. I
Well,
will do this any day of the week. You guys are great. It's good energy. Feels like home. So
the table is always open for you.
Exactly. You were
yeah, you want a
incredible.
female perspective? I'm there, and I will tell it like it is. So
That's what I appreciate about you.
honey and hellfire. There you go.
She don't
Word.
hold back no punches. That's for sure. But
Yeah.
all right, guys. So the season is over. Final thoughts for the entire season, and what do you want to see happen next season?
All right. So I think this thing kind of started off like fire. Like it was going good. It was going good. And the first 6 episodes were like a hot burning fire. Every episode was great. And then someone threw a big old bucket of water on it and just put that thing out. And this thing came to a screeching halt, I think. I think the idea to stretch it out to another season was a bad idea. I hope it doesn't bite them in the ass in the future. But again, I think it's the worst episode of the entire series. If I had to go with what my favorite moment was in this season, I would probably stick with the big war at Jackson. What was the name of the town?
Jackson, you're right.
Yeah, that whole episode, even outside of Joel getting killed, was amazing. I think that truly showed what this universe can do and how deadly and terrifying it can be. That was one of the best zombie attacks I've ever seen. I've been watching zombie movies for a long time. And I want to follow that up with, I think, the whole of episode last week was amazing. I don't think I would have changed anything about that episode. From the birthday parties to Joel and Ellie's moment together. I think that episode was beautiful, and somewhere between those two moments is my favorite.
How about you, KJ? What was your
Okay.
what did you think
Well,
about the whole season in total, and what was your favorite part?
last week's episode, The Price, episode 6, was definitely my favorite. Because I love a backstory, and the relationship between Ellie and Joel was kind of beautiful until it wasn't. Um, my favorite moments, I think, for the whole season, again, like Mike said, started out hot, and then we got a fire one last week, and then it fizzled out to, I think they're going to lose a lot of viewers. I think people are going to be disinterested and probably won't come back for season 3. But in saying that, Gail was a highlight for me. Catherine O'Hara was amazing in every little scene she was in. She was fire. Um, I loved getting Joel's backstory when he was a kid and the abuse he went through. Dina's traumatic backstory as well. Um, I love the smart ones that they added in there. That made it interesting, something I've never seen before. And the Horde invasion or attack from episode 1 was amazing. I wish we would have got some infected in every episode, but I think the last thing we saw was in the subway tunnels when Ellie got bit. I think it was really the last time we really saw like some infected. But I'm gonna leave it off with what Gail said about Joel and Ellie, nature versus nature. She said they've been walking side by side from the very start. Some people just can't be saved.
Ouch.
Nicely put. Nicely put. I don't think can she be saved? I don't know. I don't know.
No.
We're gonna see next season. But so my final thoughts on this whole season. I thought the season was great. I thought definitely right on point with you guys. They dropped the ball big time in this last episode. They could have did so much more and made it so much more interesting to actually want to watch season 3. I think it's so obvious what they're doing that there's no excitement for season 3. We know Ellie's not going to die unless they rewrite the whole script. We know she's not dying in this episode. Um in this show. The flashback episode definitely was it was a tough episode for me to watch for personal reasons, and so I have a hard time saying that's my favorite episode, although it should be, just because of everything that happened. And um, the Horde was my favorite scene by far. When they attacked Jackson, and honestly, the show, the most memorable scene in this entire show, and I think this is a scene that started everything off, was seeing Joel get killed. I think that was the best scene of the entire show, and that's what propelled this show forward. And unfortunately, we fell flat at the very end. But there's always next time, like all Eagles fans. Well,
Yeah,
not
without
anymore.
the catalyst of him dying, like what would have
Mhm.
happened? Like Ellie's whole identity is focused on vengeance and revenge. Like without that, she would have been forced to be happy, and her and Joel to reconcile and live their lives without that.
It's one of those questions of like, would it have been better to never have gotten a season 2 or the second game where you just kind of let that play out in your head? I don't
No,
know.
It's like
I want to see this play out on
Yeah,
TV. Like I want to see season 3. I want
better
to
to
see
love or never loved at all.
right.
better to love
Um,
and lose than never to love at all. I'd I'd rather I want to see this thing through. So I will be back for season 3, and
how would you,
hopefully it doesn't bomb.
how would you guys have thought they should have ended the episode?
Cut out
I
like
think
20 minutes of bullcrap and actually finish the Ellie and Abby thing, or just added an extra 2 or 3 episodes to the season and just finish it that way.
yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
They should have definitely did 2 or 3 more episodes and just end it with the cliffhanger of this season, but we already have Abby's backstory.
Mm.
And that's how season 3 should have started,
Hmm.
with that face off, and see what actually happens.
Yeah, they really rushed this episode. And I was curious why they kept putting day one, day two throughout the season, and now I know
Yeah.
because they brought it back to day one at the end.
Yep, right back.
And we're probably going to see a lot of executions, which is going to be
I
rough.
hope we see a lot more clickers and a lot more zombie
Yeah,
type
bring back the
action.
infected and the hordes. I mean, that's the whole thing.
That's
There
the
is
universe.
that big clicker battle where they were on the roof watching it from remember where Dina was like, we got to get to the white building, and then there was a big explosion because of the clickers. Maybe we'll see that battle.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, it's like The Walking Dead kind of fell into that. They kind of stopped focusing on the zombies in the later seasons and focused more on like the people were the threats.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I'm also like, I was thinking when the village got attacked and the scars took off, why don't the wolves just move somewhere else? Like they're
Because
obviously having a territory war with these people.
Yeah.
Anyway,
ain't nobody in
whose is
Seattle.
bigger?
You could just leave your building with power and nobody's gonna bother it. And you walk
yeah.
through all of Seattle and there's no clickers. Ridiculous.
Quick thing on Walking Dead. Just side note that I heard this before and I wasn't sure. You know, The Walking Dead wasn't the name of the zombies. It wasn't for the zombies. It was for the people that were alive, because they're
Oh,
actually the
definitely.
Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rick says it in one of the first 25 issues. He says,
Oh, really?
we're the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And they never call them zombies either.
They call them walkers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Walkers. But yeah, hell of a season. Unfortunately, ended in a bad note. But I still have high hopes. Hopefully, we'll see you guys next season. Obviously, we're going to be shooting some more podcasts, doing different shows. So please make sure you like, you subscribe, you comment. Any feedback we get is wanted. We want to know if we suck, if we're good, what should we talk about next, what should we do different. We're new to this, so we're all learning as we go, and any help is very much appreciated. So with that being said, thank you guys for joining me here at the Last of Us podcast, all 7 episodes, KJ and Mike. And any last words?
AMC better than HBO.
Ouch. Yeah, just again, KJ, thank you so much for joining us. It was amazing. Thank you.
It was amazing. Thank you for having me.
HBO Max, you better step up your game. We'll see you next time, guys. See you soon.
Adios.
Bye-bye.